Well, hi everyone. So my name is Gusti Puspita Sari. You can call me by Puspita. I'm from 6B class and my student registration number is 191-202-1082. So here I would like to tell you my reflection from the session 1 until 8 session. So let's get started for the first things, which is about three things that I have learned during this course, which is I have learned so many things in this course, especially how to write correctly. So for the first things I have learned is about how to avoid plagiarism in writing. So honestly, before I attend this course, I don't know how to avoid the plagiarism actually. So that is because I had previously received a course which is writing in the previous semester, and then I felt that there is no problem on my writing, right? But it turns out that I will the level of my plagiarism is above of the average. So it made me realize that avoiding the plagiarism is really important to do. So in this course, I have learned many things about how to quote from the original source, and by paraphrasing, maybe, and then how to summarize correctly, how to write correctly with the phrasing style. So I didn't understand this before, but now at least I know how to avoid all of the plagiarism in citing original sources and summarizing using references. So I think plagiarism before is not really important to do because of I just write and then uh, read from the other sources and then I put it into my writing and then I just like write without uh, without uh, adding the quotation or from who is the researcher of my writing or my quotation, and then my plagiarism after I check my plagiarism in Turnitin, so I realized that my plagiarism is above the average. So that's why from this course I have learned so many things about plagiarism. So what I have to do to avoid plagiarism is like paraphrasing and then quotation from the original resources, and then try to summarizing something from what I have learned to the other researchers. And the second thing that I have learned is about how to write abstract and introduction. So for the first time I joined this course, it was really hard for me to write abstract and also the introduction. So that is because I didn't know before how to make the abstract and the introduction correctly. I just feel like just write. I never pay attention with the content, what I should put in my abstract, and then in my what I should explain in my introduction. It was very challenging for me at the first time because and then I still remember for the first time I write the abstract and the introduction. It was a really messy writing that I have written before. So I just write it before without knowing what is the gap, what is novelty, aims of my writing, and many things that support my writing. And then my lecture gave us opportunity in sharing our ideas and then sharing about our progress to the other friends and then to the lecture, and then the lecture give us feedback to our writing, and we never know that and then this progress is never known before. So from this discussion, then I revised my writing, and then at least it was better than before. I just feel like there's so many things that I never know before in writing course. So from this course, I really learned many things in writing abstract and introduction. So first of all, I just feel like just write it without uh, giving pay attention to the novelty, and then defining the gap. Actually, I didn't know before. But now at least I know what is the component, what I should put in my abstract and what I should put in my introduction. And then I still remember about the inbred style that I usually put in my introduction. So from this discussion and sharing ideas, and then for all of the materials from abstract and introduction part, which is very help me in supporting me during writing the introduction, and also the abstract part of my writing. And the third thing that I have learned in this course is about literature review. I have learned so many things in this course about writing skills. They are about paraphrasing, summarizing, finding a gap, problems, novelty, and idioms, and many things that support my writing. And the last but not least is I know about literature review. So what I think about literature review for the first time is like same as thesis, or we call it in Indonesia like skripsi. So what I think about literature review is like we do some research, and then we do some research, and then we make our research by ourselves, and then it so but in the reality it was wrong. Then after I attended this course, I realized that literature review is something that we can do in identification and evaluation through previous study from previous research. Then we need to make it by ourselves that relate to the topic that we choose. So then in this point I have learned a lot about theoretical review and empirical review. I felt like blind before I joined the class. I never known something in writing, especially about theoretical review and empirical review. But now I know what should I put in my writing. I know everything about the theories, but sometimes I cannot pour it into my writing. And then I cannot write it. I cannot write it perfectly what I want, what is in my expectation. But now I'm still trying to write perfectly that relates to my topic that I choose. So that's all about my three things that I have learned during this semester in this course. And the next is I will continue to do things I plan to implement in my class. So things I planned in to implement in my class is the first thing I have read a lot. So actually reading is not my favorite things to do. Uh, I never enjoyed before about reading something like book, comic, novel. I don't like reading. I personally like watching and then listening. When I compare with the reading is boring for me before. But in this course, we have to read to know about what we will discuss, what we will write, and what we will do in this course. So through reading, we know a lot of things that we never know before. So in this course, I trained myself to read some materials and a lot of articles that relate to my topic. And then so I think I blind when I read something before because I didn't read anything before. And then after I tried to practice myself to read before I joined the class, and I feel like more confidence before I join the class. If I read some materials or articles that relate to the topic or materials that we'll be discussing in this class, in the class. And the second one is prepare the next content. I will plan prepare to finish all of my finish my drafting, and I will put in my draft. I will plan to continue this writing to become a complete until chapter 3, or complete with drafting until finish of the drafting process. And the last thing is one thing that I still need to improve in this course. So, what I think, I have so many things that I have to improve in writing skills because it is very tough, challenging for me about writing than the other skills, for example, listening, speaking, and reading. I think all of the skills is or are important and hard for me, but in writing skills it was very challenging for me because I need to know a lot of about how to write correctly, perfectly, and many things that I have to learn. So it is because I think it is because I'm lack of reading before I want to write something and I don't know what should I write. And then after this, I still need more practice in writing. I have many ideas after I read some articles or journals that relate to my topic in my drafting, and then I prepare it very very well. But unfortunately, after that, I cannot pour it into all of my ideas into my writing. I don't know why I am so hard to put all of my mind, all of my ideas to my writing. And then my expectation is really good. But when I read, I don't, I read for the reality is not like my expectation before. So I have many things. I have many things in my idea before I write something. After I read some articles, I compile and then uh, I would like to pour it into my writing, but it was not my. It is not perfectly as my expectation before. So I don't know why, because I think this is my there's something wrong in myself, but I'm still trying to write the drafting until all of the drafting is finished. So I think that is all about my reflection in this section, and then for the next session, I will try do my best in finishing all of the drafting process. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm so sorry if there is some mistake that I made.